Hello everybody, Jose Rodriguez here. It is the 21st of April, Friday afternoon. In case you haven't checked, I just uploaded a tutorial using Lightroom version 6.10, which is the latest version of Lightroom, and I go through my workflow. This is the way I use Lightroom. For those of you who might be interested in watching that, take a look at it. Specifically, I show you at the end how to do a proper export out of Lightroom so that you can then have files that are the full resolution, whether they were cropped or not cropped. Because there is a catch. If you don't do this, you will end up with a file only about a third of the original size. And that would not be good. We want that full resolution export. All right. I know a lot of you saw my previous video where I announced what Precision Colors has had to do with concerning international shipping. Here's a screen grab of the main page. There are some good things here though, and you might want to go in there and have a look. But basically what it says, in international shipping, UK and Ireland are exceptions. That was changed. So yay, I got to notify all my UK and Irish folks that it is on for those two countries. Awesome. We are temporarily stopping international shipments because rates and features of various methods have changed drastically, and will reintroduce new rate structures and policies. This is a very difficult segment when it comes to shipping. It is typically very costly and time consuming. Updated April 20th, 2017. So that's an update from the previous one that I saw. Here's what's been happening. The shipping rates structure from Canada apparently changed drastically, astronomically, especially to countries like Australia. And those of you in Australia, there's a lot of you Pro One users that have been buying my cartridges and are relying on the inks and chips available through Precision Colors. And now it has become prohibitive to ship to those countries. But apparently he has figured out that the UK and Ireland are still reasonably priced. And so he's going to reinstate shipping to those two countries. And I will go ahead and update my site to include those two countries as well. I had to temporarily also halt the selling of those cards because I didn't want to have you guys receiving cards that you would not be able to use due to lack of inks and chips availability, and that would not be a good way to run business. All right, so thank you once again for that. I hope you just hold on a little bit longer. We have something, considering I spoke to a person in Europe that may be willing to take up the duties to ship from Europe. Basically, he would receive bulk inks and other supplies, and then he would drop ship from Europe, which might be a lot easier than doing it from the current location, Canada or even the US. All right. I want to also bring up to your attention that there are some upgraded Pro 100 refill kits immediately available. Have a look at that. And remember the R2000 experiment that I did using, I believe they are back here, Precision Colors new ink set for the R1900, R2000, and P400. Well, now there are complete kits for the P400, including auto reset cards that actually do work in these new inks. So that's something brand new. You might want to take a look at that. Any of you who have a P400 or an older R2000, which I still have. I even have an R1900 that has been not used. I'm trying to sell it, but nobody wants it apparently. So anyway, so let me go ahead and show you after I wet my throat a little bit here. I have two prints that I did just minutes ago. I want to go ahead and keep this one hidden from you guys for the time being. Remember the truck? This is the truck that I downloaded image of and printed it quite a few times using other printers. I love the HDR kind of look to it. Very overcast day. When you shoot on an overcast day like this, it might seem like a bad idea, but for color it is amazing. The dynamic range is reduced, so you are able to expand that dynamic range to meet the maximum that this particular printer paper combination can produce. And so you end up with this super colorful, beautiful rendition. This is done on the R2000 using those very inks I just described and spoke about that are currently available. So take advantage of that, you R2000 users, and 1900s and the P400. The results are great. Very, very nice. Colorful, beautiful. The rendition looks just like on my monitor. I am using a profile that I created. And by the way, guys, this is being printed on Canon ProLuster paper. Custom profiling does the magic for you. And so, since I have so much of this Canon ProLuster paper, because of those amazing deals that we have here in the United States, I'm able to use that paper, kind of cross-reference it over to the Epson side, and I am able to use it. And so there are the results. I hope you can see that. Let me pan back and forth so you can see the gloss. It is all there. This is about as good as it's going to get. Remember, guys, the gloss optimizers are a formula that is kept really, really secret by the ink manufacturers for Canon when it comes to chroma optimizer and Epson when it comes to gloss optimizer. No one has been able to figure out the correct formulation. So this is as good as it gets. And I am satisfied with it. This is more than I expected. So we are using a new gloss formulation for the R2000 P400 and anything older that uses that particular type of gloss optimizer, the R800, the 1800, the 1900, and the R2000, and now the P400. So take advantage of that. Something like this does not come often. I have used so many other gloss optimizers that just really don't come up to par to what we want to have and be able to see. Okay, before I show you this, my friend Christine Bilby from Christine Bilby Photography, Australian photographer, young lady in her, I don't know, well, I'm not going to say how old she is, very talented, and she is using the Pro 1 to print some of her work, and she specializes in women. She sent me a file, and even though the file had been exported out of Lightroom, incorrectly, so that it actually reduced it down to about a third of the original resolution or file size, I was able to up-res it in QImage, and I want you to take a look at this. I edited it. It did not need that much. I actually increased the luminosity of the skin tones of this young lady, and I want you to take a look at this. What do you guys think? Not bad. Not bad. And I'm being facetious. This is fabulous. Okay, so there you go. This is a rendition from the Pro 1 using, of course, OEM inks. And again, ProLuster, regular ProLuster paper. I printed this out of QImage so that I could take advantage of QImage's up-resing algorithm, which did a marvelous job. I can see each hair. So there you go. I wish I would have had the original full resolution file to work from, but this is marvelous. I did a few little things. I actually adjusted the background a little bit. There was more of a graduated background, and I wanted her to just stand out and pop right out of that black background. So I actually reduced the density on the background almost down to about, I would say, 4 or 5 in a 0 to 100 scale. And here, there was something down here that was bright, that was kind of making my eye move to that area. So I just burned it in I did that in Photoshop before I exported out to QImage. How can I export out to QImage, you ask? Well, there is a new plugin from QImage that allows you to edit all you want in either Photoshop, Photoshop Elements 10, or Lightroom. And then when you are ready to print, a lot of people complain about the print module in Photoshop. And it's a little bit so-so. You need to know how to use it and need to learn how to use it. But why bother when now you can just directly export out to QImage? And at that point, once you land in QImage, then you can apply the up-resing algorithm that QImage offers and that fabulous sharpening, deep focus sharpening filter. And again, I was able to bring out every strand of that hair without any single halo or any other sharpening artifacts, which can very easily creep up and ruin the results. So I did my output sharpening in QImage, automatic up-resing that is handled by QImage. The printer's native resolution, pixels per inch, is automatically handled, and so the results are always at their optimum. What do you guys think? The neutrality is perfect. Perfect. If I had thought a little bit, I would have actually toned it a little bit toward the warm side, because that's what she did on the original image. Miss Christine did that, and it turned out just gorgeous. All right, that is it. I hope you're impressed. This is a Pro 1, of course, and of course that is the printer right now suffering the effects of the problem shipping overseas, because a lot of Pro 1 owners actually live outside the United States, and so they cannot take advantage of the refilling process that I developed for the Pro 1. And of course, the only inkset at this time currently available are precision colors or unknown Chinese inks. And I have never used them, so I cannot comment on their quality, their ability to somewhat match color reproduction wise with OEM or even Precision Colors inks. The Precision Colors inkset is based on the current inkset for the Pro 10, and then they added the required missing grays to the Pro 1 set. And so that is it. All right, thank you so much. Remember, we hit 6,000. I think by tonight I'll hit 6,100 subscribers. I love it. Thank you so much again. And almost on a weekly basis, I get a new Patreon patron. So that is wonderful. I keep touching on that note because that's how we survive here. And I'm able to bring you the latest results with certain papers, certain printers, certain inks. So keep up the support. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Until the next time, happy printing, everybody. Bye-bye.